Story number 2. Let's move on to story number 2, you guys. This one is all about Kyle Richards and her failing relationship with her ex-BFF, Ding Dong Dorit Kemsley. Now, I don't care what Kyle says regarding the demise of her friendship with Dorit. I will stand by the fact that I think the reason why Kyle and Dorit are no longer close is because of the Dorit and Mauricio cheating allegations. Because I don't care how close of a friendship you have, I don't care how solid of a marriage you have. Once it is put out there in the ether, in the world, in the collective consciousness, that your best friend and coworker is sleeping with your husband, that changes the dynamic, whether it's true or not. And that is what is unfortunate, whether it's true or not. And when you sign up for the fame game, unfortunately, you also sign up for people questioning stuff. So once it's out there, particularly when your marriage is not in a good place, like if Kyle and Mauricio were in a solid place, then do I think the rumor would have had an effect? Yes. Do I think it would have had a detrimental effect? No. But of course it would have some type of effect. Anybody who says it wouldn't, you're lying to yourself. Doesn't mean anything went down, but once something is put out there, especially on the entire world speculating on it, that has an energetic effect on you and your relationship. That is why I think Kyle is no longer messing with Dorit. I don't think it has anything to do with Morgan Wade. But let's get into what they're saying, okay? Let's get into what they're saying. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Kyle Richards has been a mainstay on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for several years. Of course, this means that their friendships with people like Dorit Kemsley have experienced highs and lows. Unfortunately, now seems to be one of the low points as Dorit feels Kyle's close friendship with Morgan has divided them. Now, Kyle has responded to what the ladies have been saying about how she's changed over the last couple of years. As fans know, Kyle is also going through a divorce, which means many things are changing for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star. Now, according to Heavy, Kyle used her Amazon Live session to voice how she feels about what Dorit and other cast members are saying. She starts by discussing how Dorit says they used to travel together all of the time and how the cast says she's now traveling so much without them. According to Kyle, they are talking about the same trip time and time again. She says, my last birthday trip to Mexico that they turned into 12 different trips, apparently. One trip, they said it was Italy. It was still the same trip to Mexico. All these trips I went on and all the girls talk about this season, it was one trip. Kyle, you're not coming across that great. Like, you're coming across a little, I don't know what the word is, a little bitter, a little mean, a little tiffy, a little defensive. Like, calm down, Kyle. Kyle continued, it makes me laugh a lot. It was one trip. Yeah, some of the cast, all these trips weren't included. And it was the one trip that we posted a lot of photos that they just kept talking about. She also says that Dorit exaggerated the trips they went on together in a recent episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills by saying, Kyle and I used to go away once or twice, even more a year. Now I'm not invited on any of her trips. She also claimed that they used to all go on couples trips together. This is the thing, Kyle. Ding Dong Dorit, she talks a lot, but right now she's talking some sense because Mauricio and PK, Kyle and Dorit, you guys were a very close-knit couple friend group. You were. You guys were traveling all the time and posting all the time and being BFs all the time. You guys were a part of the whole Full Fox 5. Your little close-knit group. You were. Stop trying to act like you and Dorit weren't BFFs just because it's Mad Day. Okay? Kyle responded to the episode on her Amazon Live by saying, "It shows a trip that we went on once, PK, Dorit, and me and Mo, the four of us with our kids. And then they show another trip. It's from the show. I'm sorry, I love Dorit, but you're showing a trip from the show. Let's not exaggerate the situation. My point is, you're trying to make it seem like I do all these trips without her now. There's one trip that we actually did as couples, ever." Kyle, you nasty, Kyle. You nasty. And I'm not even a Ding Dong Dorit fan. I'm not. I don't dislike Dorit, but I'm not really here for Dorit. But in this particular situation, I'm Team Dorit because you're not going to sit up here, Kyle, and act like you and Dorit weren't best friends and that PK and Mauricio were so close. They were going to go into business together and they were going to do their own real estate reality television show in London. But then Mauricio got the Netflix offer for buying Beverly Hills. And he was like, "See ya, PK. I'm going to go take this Netflix deal and do the show about the agency and my family." And then PK got left holding the bag and he did his little reality show over there in London, which I think is on Channel 4 over there. So you want to tell me, Kyle, that you and Mauricio and PK and Dorit, you didn't really know them like that? Come on. Also, you know how we know that you're lying, Kyle? It's because when the whole Mauricio and Dorit cheating rumors came out, the biggest offense both of you had, and by both of you, I mean the couples, Mauricio and Kyle and Dorit and PK, was, "We're such good friends. We're such close friends. It's so disgusting. It's so ridiculous." Dorit was on Watch What Happens Live talking about, "My children call them Auntie Mo and Aunt Kyle, Uncle Mo and Auntie Kyle." So Dorit's children are calling you aunt and uncle, but you don't know them like that? You chose Dorit over your own sister, Kathy, and your own sister, Kim, on the show over and over again, but you don't know them like that? Kyle, your slip is showing, girl. Stop lying. Just come out and say, "You know what? It's really," and this is the thing, I would respect her so much more if she just came out and said, "You know what? It's really hard for me to be close to Dorit because the entire world was speculating on whether or not she was having sex with my husband, who I am now estranged from and separated from. And there's all these other cheating allegations going on. So you know what? It's really hard for me to pretend like we have the same friendship." That I would understand. That I could empathize with. That I get. But don't come out here, Kyle, acting like you're Mariah Carey and you don't know her. Get off it. Get off it. Like, knock it off. Knock it off, Kyle. Knock it off. Your whole defense to the reason why it was so absurd that Mauricio and Dorit were having an affair was because of how close of a friends all of you were. And that you guys would travel together, you would go out all together, and that you guys were together all of the time. Girl, bye. You got in your feelings, which I completely understand. I'm not judging you for this. If I was married and this was going on, if I was Kyle, I would feel some type of way. I totally get it. I just wish she would show her humanity. But the moment it's not convenient for her to be friends with you, Kyle has shown she will drop you. Look what she did to Lisa Vanderpump. Look what she did to her own sisters, both of them. Low key, she did it to the other women like Yolanda and Denise. She had a hand in all of that too. Lisa Rinna did, but Kyle was right there with them. Right there with them. Right? Another reason why I think that Kyle is trying to distance herself from Dorit without being honest is what happened in Aspen. Remember, because again, if you aren't Kyle's yes person, she will drop you. When Dorit said, when was it? It was, what were they beefing about? Remember in Aspen when Dorit and Kyle started beefing? Oh, when Dorit left Kyle's house in Aspen to stick up for Erica because Dorit was scared that Erica was about to start spilling her secrets. Remember when Erica lost her damn mind and was like, "I don't give a damn about anybody but me." And they all were trying to be like, "Erica, stop, stop." Erica was just like popping off. And Erica looked at Dorit and she goes, oh, she's like, you say one more thing to me. She's like, we all have secrets, right? And Dorit was like, understood the assignment. She shut all the way up and she basically helped Erica move all of her stuff out of Kyle's place into the hotel with Diana. Kyle felt very slighted by that. And remember, they were fighting in the Aspen kitchen. And then all of a sudden, Mauricio was like, ladies, on behalf of me and PK, I want you guys to stop. And Dorit was like, oh my God, you're right. Okay, I'll stop. Okay. Remember that? So there's that. And Kyle also came out and said that the fact that Dorit had the audacity, and I think, again, Dorit was correct. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Dorit, but I'm pretty much team Dorit on this one. During the last season finale, when Dorit said to Kyle, when they were talking, when it was Kathy and Kyle talking, and she said, oh, but like, she just wants to see if you could take a little bit of like responsibility or accountability for your action in it. And Kyle looked at her like, if you don't shut the F up, and she was like, I don't want your input right now. Like, I don't want you to like to say anything or whatever she said. And Dorit was like, okay. Kyle herself said either, she said it a couple episodes ago. She was like, yeah, things have been different with me and Dorit now. She was so supportive behind the scenes with me. But then at the reunion, she says that about Kathy. So because Dorit simply said, are you able to take some responsibility, some accountability for the situation? She went off. Very similar to how she treats Sutton. Just because Sutton and Kathy were still friends, she's basically did a whole smear campaign against Sutton this season. Like, if you go against Kyle, she will make herself the victim, and then she will try to villainize you. And again, I'm not even a Ding Dong Dorit fan, but I'm Team Dorit on this one because Kyle was dead wrong. Just come out and say it. Just say, you know what, Dorit, I don't rock with you anymore because of A, B, C, D, and E, and F. Because I'm on my petty. You didn't blindly support me. And the world thinks you smashed my husband. So I can't rock with you the way I used to rock with you. So just be honest. That's the real reason why you're not rocking with Dorit. It has nothing to do with Morgan Wade. Because you know how it has nothing to do with Morgan Wade? It's because she's still close with Teddy. Kyle and Teddy are still, thick as thieves. Teddy is still right there being her mouthpiece, being her little lapdog. Teddy is right there. So Morgan has, same with, what's her name? The morally corrupt Faye Resnick. Kyle and Faye are still super close. So it's not that Kyle is turning on all of her friends for Morgan. Kyle is just saying, if you do not blindly show me loyalty at all times, then you're going to be the villain and I'm going to be the victim, and I'm going to because this is the thing. Kyle punishes her friends the same way she claims Kathy punishes her. With jabs, with silence, with little digs. And that's why Dorit is losing her damn mind, because she doesn't understand what's going on. Well, this is what's going on, Dorit. You want to know why your friendship is suffering with Kyle? Don't look at Morgan Wade. Look at everything I just said. That's why Kyle isn't messing with you anymore. It has nothing to do with Morgan Wade. And again, I don't even think Morgan and Kyle are really like that. I think Morgan is fulfilling her contract, and I think Kyle is just using Morgan as a distraction. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I really think is going on between Kyle and Dorit. So honestly, Dorit, you might have dodged a bullet with this one. Look what she did to Lisa Vanderpump. Look what she's done to her own sisters. Look what she's doing to Sutton this entire season. Why is she attacking Sutton so much? Because she's pissed Sutton is still friends with Kathy and didn't just take her side? And that's why she has Anne Marie going after her every other scene? That's not right. So instead of having the tough conversation of, hey, Dorit, I love you, you're my friend, but these things have happened, and for better or for not, they hurt my feelings, and that's why I'm struggling in our friendship, Kyle is trying to act like we're stupid and that we don't know that they used to be best friends. We watched the show, Kyle. We watched the show, Kyle. Like, we know. And your whole excuse was, we're such good friends, there's no way they had an affair. But now you don't know her? Girl, stop. Girl, stop. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. What do you think the real reason is for Kyle and Dorit's the demise of their friendship? Do you think it has anything to do with Morgan? Or do you think it has everything to do with what we just outlined? Everything. Put it down below. Before you do that, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to pick up your conspiracy theory t-shirt, which is linked down below. So with that, let's move on to our next story. Dun, 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 dun. So this is all about Kyle and Mauricio yet again, and Kyle slamming